Hello students. So let's move ahead in chemical thermodynamics. Up till last video we have seen about the different basic concepts that are used in chemical thermodynamics. Then we have seen the work done in an isothermal and also in isothermal and reversible process, which is nothing but the maximum work done. So we have seen the expression for maximum work done. Then in the last video we have seen about the first law of thermodynamics, what is internal energy and what is enthalpy. We have just derived the expression for the enthalpy also. Okay, the enthalpy, which is denoted by H, and which is nothing but the amount of heat content at constant pressure. That is nothing but the enthalpy. So we have seen about the change in enthalpy, first law of thermodynamics, and some work done expressions. Okay, so today we are going to proceed with the relation between the enthalpy and internal energy, means delta H and delta U, relationship between delta H and delta U, and we will also see about the work done in chemical reactions. Okay, and let us see some numericals based on both of these topics and the topics which we have covered earlier. Okay, so let's start with the video. So let us move to our first topic, today's topic, that is relationship between delta H and delta U. Okay, in the last video we have derived the relation for the enthalpy, and we know that at constant pressure delta H is equals to delta U plus P delta V. Okay, this we have seen in our last video that at constant pressure the enthalpy, change in enthalpy is nothing but the sum of internal energy and the change in volume into pressure. Okay, so let us assume this a reaction. This is a reaction for the enthalpy change at constant pressure. Now suppose if our reactants are solid or liquid in phase. Okay, suppose the reactants or the system which we are going to study, suppose it is in solid or liquid phase. Okay, now even at a constant pressure, if I apply a constant pressure over a solid or some liquid, then what will be the change in the volume? Will there be any change? किसी सॉलिड को अगर मैं प्रेशर अप्लाई करती हूँ तो हमें पता है कि उसके वॉल्यूम में कोई खास चेंजेस नहीं आते. ओके, सॉलिड अगर आपका हार्ड है तो इट विल देयर विल बी नो चेंज इन द वॉल्यूम, और अगर थोड़ा बहुत सॉफ्ट है जिसको हम दबा सकते हैं तो उसमें क्या रहेगा, अ लिटिल बट अ नेग्लिजिबल चेंज विल बी देयर. मींस ये जो डेल्टा वी है मतलब चेंज इन वॉल्यूम, तो यहाँ पर फॉर द सॉलिड एज वेल एज फॉर द लिक्विड में तो कोई चांस ही नहीं है वॉल्यूम चेंज करने का. अगर आप प्रेशर अप्लाई करोगे देन अगर वहां सरफेस एरिया होगा देन इट विल एक्सपांड. बट अगर आप एक क्लोज एक कंटेनर में ले रहे हो, ओके, कंटेनर के ऊपर हमने सपोज ये इस तरह का जो लास्ट टाइम हम लोगों ने देखा था कि सपोज इफ आई एम टेकिंग अ कंटेनर एंड इट इज फिल्ड विद अ लिक्विड एंड इफ आई हैव अटैच वन पिस्टन ओवर इट एंड थ्रू दिस पिस्टन आई एम अप्लाइंग अ कांस्टेंट प्रेशर. तो अब ये पिस्टन अप्लाई करने के बाद क्या रहेगा यहाँ पे, सिंस द प्रेशर इज कांस्टेंट ओवर हियर, नाउ विल देयर बी एनी चेंज इन द वॉल्यूम? नो, वॉल्यूम जो है इनिशियल वॉल्यूम जितना रहेगा उतना ही प्रेशर अप्लाई करने के बाद भी वॉल्यूम रहेगा. देयर विल बी नो चेंज इन द वॉल्यूम फॉर द लिक्विड्स and also for the solid. So in such case delta V will be near about zero only. कोई चेंज ही नहीं रहेगा. इनिशियल जो वॉल्यूम है दैट विल बी द फाइनल वॉल्यूम, सो देयर विल बी नो चेंज इन द वॉल्यूम, एंड फॉर सच केसेस व्हाट विल बिकम, डेल्टा वी विल बिकम जीरो, एंड इन सच केस योर एंथैल्पी डेल्टा एच विल बी इक्वल्स टू डेल्टा यू प्लस पी इंटू जीरो, दैट इज जीरो, मीन्स डेल्टा एच इज इक्वल्स टू डेल्टा यू फॉर the system which is in either a solid or a liquid phase. But as we have said earlier also, in this chapter we are going to emphasize on the system which consists of gases. So let us consider a gas and let us apply the let us try to derive a relationship between delta H and delta U for a gaseous system. Okay, for solids or the liquids, delta H is equals to delta U. Now let us study for the gaseous system. For gaseous system or for the gases. Now for gases, if the reaction over here is delta H is equals to delta U plus P delta V. Okay, and suppose if we consider that these gases, ये जो गैस हम लोगों ने अप्लाई की है, suppose it is behaving like an ideal gas. It is behaving like an आइडियल गैस, हम कभी भी जब रिएक्शन लेते हैं वी assume that it must be behaving ideally, okay? जिस तरह से हमने रिएक्टेंट सोचा है कि ये रिएक्ट इसके साथ करने के बाद अपने को क्या मिलता है, एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट मिलता है, दैट इज इट्स आइडियल बिहेवियर। जो हम सोचते हैं कि ये दोनों को अगर मैं रिएक्ट करूंगा तो मुझे ये पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट मिलेगा, सो दैट इज योर आइडियल बिहेवियर। तो सिमिलरली इफ वी कंसिडर दैट द सिस्टम इज बिहेविंग आइडियली, देन वी नो दैट द आइडियल गैसेस, जो भी आइडियल गैसेस है, दे फॉलो द रूल ऑफ PV इज इक्वल्स टू nRT। ये हमारा गैस लॉ है। जो गैस लॉ क्या बोलता है, that the product of pressure and volume is equal to the number of moles present in that gas into its gas constant and the temperature at which the reaction is carried out. So this is your ideal gas equation. So suppose if we consider that this system is behaving ideally, okay? If the system is behaving ideally and we have taken the system at constant pressure, because we are talking about enthalpy, and enthalpy is nothing but the change in the heat content at constant pressure. So let us keep this pressure constant, but there is a change in the volume. Yes, initial state and final state. So suppose when on the reactant side, suppose the system goes from reactant to the product side, okay? Suppose this is a reaction कि gas जो है वो starting में reactant side में है, and then it reacts and changes into some number of moles and get converted into the product, okay? So for this reactant side, if V1 is the volume, pressure we have kept constant P, and number of moles are suppose N1. starting में हम लोगों ने N1 number of moles लेके reaction की है। तो अगर हम सोचते हैं कि ये गैस आइडियल बिहेव कर रही है, आइडियल गैस की तरह बिहेव कर रही है, तो हमारी इक्वेशन क्या बन जाएगी, P into V1 is equals to N1 RT. Yes, because this is a gas constant, this is an absolute temperature which is again constant throughout the system, and here pressure is also kept constant. So P into V1 is equals to N1 RT. And similarly on the product side, if we apply the ideal gas equation, then it will become P into V2, because after the reactant getting converted into product, suppose the volume has changed to V2, so P into V2 will be equals to N2 into RT. Yes, we can write like this. Now let us move to this equation number 1. Let us concentrate on equation number 1. If I want to simplify this equation, then I can write this equation 1 as equation 1 can be simplified as how? Delta H is equals to delta U plus P delta V. Delta V is nothing but the final volume minus the initial volume. Means I can write like this, PV2 minus PV1. And if I open this bracket, then it will become delta U plus P into V2 minus P into V1. Yes, this will be my equation. Delta H is equals to delta U plus P into V2 minus P into V1. Okay. Now I can see from this equation, let me write this as 2A and this B as 2B. Okay. Suppose we have naming these equations as 2A and 2B. Then according to 2A, PV1 is nothing but N1 RT and PV2 is N2 RT. So let us substitute this. This delta H will be equals to delta U plus PV2 can be written as N2 RT minus PV1 is N1 RT. Yes, I can write like this. Now, yes. Now, let me simplify it again. So, this will become delta H is equals to delta U plus, now since these two are constant, R is also gas constant, T is absolute temperature, both are constants are over here. So, I can bring them out and take N2 minus N1 into RT. I can write like this. Yes. So, now my equation becomes delta H is equals to delta U plus N2 minus N1 into RT, where R is the gas constant and T is the absolute temperature. So here N2 is the number of moles of gas present at the product side. जब हमारा system reaction हो गई complete और product side पे आ गया, then the number of moles are N2 and on the reactant side the number of moles are N1. Therefore, I can write delta H is equals to delta U plus. Now, since this is N2 minus N1, I can write it as delta N. And since it is for the gaseous system, I will write it as Ng. Ng into RT. So, my new expression becomes delta H is equals to delta U plus delta nRg for the gaseous system. This is for gaseous system. For the gaseous system, delta H is equals to delta U plus delta nRg. So, this is a relation between delta H and delta U. Okay. Let us see one numerical over it, and let us try to solve the numerical on this equation. Okay. Okay, so let's see this numerical. Delta H for the reaction 2C plus thrice H2 in the gaseous state gives C2H6, means ethane in the gaseous state, is minus 84.4 kilojoules at 25 degrees Celsius. Calculate delta U for the reaction at 25 degrees Celsius and R is 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole. So this is your reaction given, and also the value of delta H is given. So let us first compute out what is given to us and let us try to solve it out. So in this case, what is given? First write down what is given to us. Now in this case, given the value of delta H. Delta H is given to be minus 84.4 kilojoule. Okay, this is given. And second, what is given? Temperature T is 25 degrees Celsius. So always we have to convert this degree Celsius into degree Kelvin, because here also we are taking kilojoules. Here we have to take it in degree Kelvin. So to convert it into degree Kelvin, we have to add it with 273 Kelvin. So it will become, this will be equals to 298 Kelvin. Okay. So T is 298 Kelvin. Then what is asked? And then also R is given, that is the gas constant, which is 8.314 joules per Kelvin per mole. This is also given to us. And also a reaction is given. Now in this case, the reaction given means what? It is, the reaction is given as 2C solid plus thrice H2 in the gaseous phase gives me C2H6 in the gaseous phase. Okay. Now this reaction is given. Now in this case, in this reaction, this carbon is in the solid state, and we know that there is no volume change for the solid substance, and for the solids we know that delta H is equals to delta U. Whatever delta H is given, it will be same, delta U will be same for that content. So we don't have to worry about this. We have what, in which the delta U is going to change? It is going to change for this content, which is in the gaseous state. Okay, so thrice H2 in the gaseous state getting converted into methane in the gaseous state. Now nothing is given means here it is 1 mole. Means the number of moles on the reactant side will be only the one which are in the gaseous state. We are not going to add these number of moles. Why? Because this is in the solid state. Okay, and we don't over here we don't consider for the solid state. We are only bothered about the gaseous state substance. So in this case, N1 means the number of moles on the reactant side, and reactant side there is 3 moles of H2 and 2 moles of carbon. But carbon is in the solid state, so we are not going to consider this. We are just going to consider the atoms or the molecules which are in the gaseous state. So number of moles will be here 3, N1 will be 3, and N2 means the number of moles on the product side. So in this case, product is, on the product side there is only one ethane molecule, therefore N2 will be equals to 1. Okay. Now we know that, just now we have derived the expression that delta H is equals to delta U plus delta Ng into RT. Yes, we have just derived it now. Now, so first let us calculate out what is delta N. Delta N in this case will be equals to N2 minus N1, and N2 is 1 and N1 is 3 and N2 is 1, so this will become minus 2. So N2, delta Ng is minus 2. Now since we have to calculate out delta U, so let us keep this delta U on the left hand side and take other entities on the right hand side. So this will become delta U is equals to, I will bring this over here. So delta H minus delta Ng into RT. Next, we have to see that now in this case, the R is given to be 8.314 joule per Kelvin per mole and delta H is given to be in kilojoules. Okay, so we have to convert this also in kilojoule. So let us first convert it into kilojoules. So joules can be converted into kilojoules by just multiplying it with 10 raised to the power minus 3. So this will become 8.314 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 kilojoules per Kelvin per mole. Okay. Now all the units are proper and now we can substitute them over here and find out the answer. So let's do that. So delta U will be equals to delta H is minus 84.4 minus delta Ng. Delta Ng had come out to be minus 2 into the value of R is 8.314 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 into T is 298 Kelvin. Let me write the unit also over here so that it will become easy. This is 2 moles. 2 moles into 8.314 kilojoule per Kelvin per mole into 298 Kelvin. Okay. Now let us cancel all the units that can be cancelled out. So in this case this is kilojoules. Now here this is mole and per mole will get cancelled. Then again then Kelvin and per Kelvin will get cancelled. So your answer is now delta U is equals to minus 84.4 kilojoule. This minus and minus will become plus 2 into 8.314 into 10 raised to the power minus 3 kilojoules into 298. Okay. So just you have to now what we have to find out the answer for 2 into 8.314 into 298 and we have to find just derive it over here and then subtract minus 84.4 from it. So you can do this by either manually also or using log also, but we will try to do it with log only so that you are in practice with the log table and also you find very easy to find it with the log. So let us apply log over this, only this much equation, because here only there is a multiplication. For addition we don't use log. So just find out the answer for this using the log. So first log of 2. Log of 2 plus log of 8.314 plus log of 298. So log of 2 will be, since here there is only one digit and after one digit there is a decimal, so we have to subtract 1 from that. So it will become 0 point and we have to see now the log of 2. So it is 3010 plus log of 8.314. Again a single digit and then a decimal. So again we are going to subtract 1 from the number of digits. So यहाँ पे एक ही digit है तो 1 minus 1 will be 0. So 0 point. Now we are going to check out the log for 83. In that we will be seeing the first row and we are going to add the mean difference of the fourth row. So let us check it out. 9193. It comes out to be 9193 plus log of 298. So since here there is a decimal after 3 digits, so 3 minus 1 is 2 point log of 298. So we are going to see the 8th row of the log 29. So that is 4742. Now just add it up. So this will become 5. This is become 9, 10, 14. 9. Then 16. 3.9, 10, then 14. Okay, 0.6945. Okay, so your answer is 5. Your answer is 0.6945. Now, this is not the answer. We have to take the antilog of this number, 0.69 ka 4 ka 5. So, we'll check out for the antilog of 3.6945. and that will be our answer, and that will come out to be 0. Going to see the antilog for 0.69. In that we will move to the 4th row and we are going to add the mean difference of the 5th row. So 0.6945 4949. Okay, so this is our answer. Now this into, since while finding the log we subtract 1. Now since we are finding the antilog, we are going to add 1. So this will become 0.4949 into 10 raised to the power 4 into 10 raised to the power 4 into 10 raised to the power minus 3. So the answer will be, now in this case this is plus 4 and 10 raised to the power minus 3. So it will become plus 0.4949 into 10 raised to the power 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. So 10 raised to the power 1. And what we have to do? We have to just subtract. We have to take minus 84.4 kilojoule plus 0.4949 into 10 raised to the power 1. Okay. Now this can further be simplified as, इसको हम further simplification करके कैसे लिख सकते हैं? ये हो जाएगा मेरा डेल्टा U is equals to minus 84.4 kilojoules plus 4.94. Yes, I can write like this. अब ये प्लस 1 है यहाँ पर, तो इसको मैं क्या करूंगी, इसको मैं 4.94 भी लिख सकती हूँ. So 4.94. Now just we have to subtract it and we have to give the sign of the greater number. So here it is 0. So 0 minus 4 is 6. Then 14 minus 10 is 4. Then again this will become 9 and this will become 7. So 79.46. So delta U is your 79.46. So in this case, what is the internal energy? It is minus 79.46 kilojoules. Now here this negative sign. What is this negative sign signifying? In this case, this is delta U is negative, means what? It is losing the system is losing the energy. Okay, whenever the system is getting the energy, you will get a plus sign over here. Now since the system is losing the energy, how much internal energy it has lost? 79.46 kilojoules. Okay, have you got it? Okay, so let us move to the next topic, that is the work done in a chemical reaction. Okay, now so let's move to the next topic, that is work done in chemical reaction. Okay, now work done in a chemical reaction. We have already studied the work done for a chemical reaction. Now we know that the work done for the chemical reaction at constant temperature and pressure. Okay, this we have already done. Okay, when we have taken a constant temperature and pressure, then we know that the work done is given by minus P external into delta V. Yes, this we have already seen that the work done, any work done W is nothing but P external into delta V. Now since we are carrying out the work or we are carrying out the chemical reaction at constant temperature and pressure, यहाँ पर हम क्या कर रहे हैं, रिएक्शन को कांस्टेंट टेम्परेचर और प्रेशर पे कैरी आउट कर रहे हैं. अब कांस्टेंट टेम्परेचर पे प्रेशर पे कैरी आउट कर रहे हैं. सो लेट अस अज्यूम दैट दिस P एक्सटर्नल इज इक्वल्स टू सपोज प्रेशर P. एक कांस्टेंट प्रेशर ले लेते हैं P and this external pressure is also equal to that constant pressure, that is P. Okay, now this reaction can also be written as, now W is equals to minus P external. In place of P external, I will write P now. So P into delta V. Yes, and we know that delta V is nothing but delta V is V2 minus V1. So I can write W is equals to P minus P into V2 minus V1, which can further be simplified as minus PV2 minus will become plus P into V1. So W can be written as minus PV2 plus P into V1. Now again, the chemical reaction which is carried out, or the system which is doing the work, is suppose the gaseous system. And if we assume that the gases behave ideally. Gases behave ideally means they are following the ideal gas equation, and ideal gas equation is PV is equals to nRT. Okay, so if we apply the ideal gas equation over here, then we know that PV1 will be equals to N1RT. Just now we have said, in the last derivations also we have seen in this way, and PV2 will become N2RT. मतलब जब हमारा सिस्टम वर्क करना शुरू कर रहा है, सपोज N1 नंबर ऑफ मोल्स है उसके पास और वॉल्यूम है V1, और अगर वो आइडियल गैस की इक्वेशन को फॉलो कर रहा है, देन PV1 will become N1RT. और जब फाइनल पोजीशन पे सिस्टम आ गया, मतलब कि वॉल्यूम हमारा चेंज हो गया N1 से N2, और वॉल्यूम चेंज कहां से कहां हो गया, V1 से V2. So in that case PV2 will become N2RT. So if I substitute this in our equation, then W will be equals to minus PV2 is N2RT plus N1RT. Yes. Now this can also be written as, so in this case this will become minus N2RT plus N1RT. Okay. Now if I keep this minus outside, and if I try to write this in the form of N2 minus N1, then it will be the same, minus N2, and minus into minus will become plus. So minus into minus will be plus N1, and I will bring RT outside. So W can also be written as minus N2 minus N1 into RT, and this N2 minus N1 is nothing but the change in the number of moles. So minus delta N RT. This is the work done for a system at constant temperature and constant pressure. Now, अब ये जो work done है, अगर आप इस expression को use करोगे, then you can find out whether the work is done by the system or work is done by the surrounding. So how can we find it out? Now in this case, if the N1 means the number of moles of reactant side, these are the number of moles of reactant side. So if this N1 is greater than N2, means in this case here N1 is greater than N2, तो यहाँ जो आंसर आएगा वो क्या हो जाएगा, this will be negative, and negative answer plus again into a negative sign. So in this case W will become positive. Yes, अगर N1 की वैल्यू N2 से ज्यादा है, मतलब ये वाला टर्म बड़ा है, सपोज ये है 8 और ये है 3, तो आंसर क्या बन जाएगा मेरा, -5, और -5 इंटू माइनस विल बी +5. सो W की वैल्यू क्या आ जाएगी, पॉजिटिव. सो इफ W is positive means what, the work is done on the system. Work is done on the system. Okay. Similarly, if N2 is greater than N1, if what, the number of moles on the product side is greater than the number of moles on the reactant side. Yes. So if this is greater, then N2 is bigger number, means now N2 is suppose 8 and N1 is suppose 3. So 8 minus 3 will be +5, and +5 into minus means minus. Therefore W, the value of W will be negative. And in this case the work will be done, work is done by the surrounding, by the system. Work is done by the system. And when work is positive, work is done on the system, मतलब सराउंडिंग काम कर रहा है किसके ऊपर, सिस्टम के ऊपर. और अगर W की वैल्यू निगेटिव है, मतलब वर्क इज डन बाय द सिस्टम. अब क्या रहेगा, बहुत से इसमें आपको वर्क डन पूछा जाता है इन द न्यूमेरिकल्स. वी विल आल्सो सी सम न्यूमेरिकल लाइक दैट इन टुडेज वीडियो आल्सो. नाउ इन दिस न्यूमेरिकल्स व्हाट इज आस्क्ड फर्स्ट, व्हाट यू हैव बीन आस्क्ड टू कैलकुलेट आउट द वर्क डन. वर्क डन कैलकुलेट आउट करने के लिए कहा जाएगा, आपको एक रिएक्शन दी रहेगी गैसियस फेज में, एंड यू हैव बीन आस्क्ड टू फाइंड आउट द वर्क डन. एंड फ्रॉम दैट वर्क डन you have been asked that tell me whether the system is doing the work or the surrounding is doing the work. So from the value of this W, whether it is positive or negative, you can find out the what type of work is done, whether the work is done by the system or whether the work is done on the system. Also, and if now suppose if N1 is equals to N2, third situation may be both may get equal, means the gaseous side number of moles on the reactant side and the product side becomes equal. In that case, the delta N value will become 0, and if delta N is equals to 0 means no work is done. In that case, the work done will be 0. So in such situation, if we consider the PV type of work, then there will be no change in the work. If both are same, then there will be no work done. Okay, have you understood? Now let us see one more numerical over this, and try to use the concepts that we have just studied to solve the numerical. Okay. So let us see one numerical on the concept that we have just seen. So the numerical says that calculate the work done in oxidation of 4 moles of SO2 at 25 degrees Celsius if twice SO2 in the gaseous phase react with oxygen in the gaseous phase, then it gives twice SO3 in the gaseous state. And the value of R is given to be 8.314 Joule per Kelvin per mole. And you have been asked to state whether the work is done by the system or on the system. Okay. So let us try to do this. Now in this case, it is asking us to calculate the work done. So let us first jot down what is given to us and what we have to find it out. So first, what is given? It is asking us to write down we have to calculate down the work done in oxidation of 4 moles of SO2. But the reaction is given for only 2 moles. क्या reaction दी हुई है? 2 moles of SO2 reacts with 1 mole of oxygen to form 2 moles of SO3. और हमें पूछा क्या गया है? We have to calculate the work done in oxidation of 4 moles. मतलब यहाँ पर तो 2 ही moles है SO2 के, but we have to find out the oxidation for 4 moles. तो सबसे पहले हमें क्या करना होगा? We have to write down the reaction for 4 moles of SO2 using with the help of this reaction. Okay. तो अब यहाँ पे थे 2 moles SO2 में 1 mole लगता है ऑक्सीजन का, और इससे बनते कितने हैं? 2 moles of SO3. तो अगर मैं यहाँ पे 4 moles of SO2 लेती हूँ, then I'll need 2 moles of oxygen and it is going to create 2 molecules of SO3. Yes, ऐसी रिएक्शन बन जाएगी. बस हमें यहाँ क्या करना है? We have to double the ratio, क्योंकि 2 plus 1 अगर हम लेते हैं 2:1 में लेते हैं तो we get 2. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या करेंगे? 4 लेंगे, तो 2 की जगह 4, तो 1 का भी डबल करना पड़ेगा, that will be 2, and this will be, sorry, here it will be 4. Okay, this will be 4 SO3. Okay, तो ये आ गई हमारी reaction. Now we have to calculate down the work done. So for calculating the work, we have to first find out the value of Ng. Ng is nothing but number of moles on the product side minus number of moles on the reactant side. So this is your product and this is your reactant side. Now in this case, the number of moles on the product side is 4 minus number of moles on the reactant side. So reactant side there are 4 plus 2. Both are in the gaseous state. So we are going to take all the moles. So these are 4 plus 2, 6, means it will become minus 2. Therefore delta Ng is minus 2. And just now we have said that the work done, or W, is equals to minus delta Ng into R into T. Okay. Now in this case we have just find out delta Ng. R is given to us joules per Kelvin and temperature is given to be in degrees Celsius. So we have to convert that temperature. T is given to be 25 degrees Celsius. So we have to convert it into Kelvin. So it will become 25 plus 273 Kelvin, and that is nothing but 298 Kelvin. So T is 298 Kelvin. So just we have to substitute out. So W will be equals to minus delta Ng is again minus 2 into R is 8.314 Joule per Kelvin per mole into 298 Kelvin. Okay. So this Kelvin will get cancelled. Here it is mole. So this mole and this mole will get cancelled and you will get the answer in joules. So W will be equals to, now here minus and minus will become plus. So 2 into 8.314 into 298 joules. And just now we have solved it. Yes, in the previous problem also there was 2 into 8.314 into 298 and we have calculated it out, and that comes out to be 4995. Okay, this we have just calculated it out as 0.4955 joules into 10 raised to the power 4 joules, or I can write it as, okay, so this can also be written as 4995 joules, or if I want to take out the answer in kilojoules, then I have to multiply this by 10 raised to the power minus 3 and it will become 4.995 kilojoules. So this is your work done. Okay, so we have calculated out the work done for the oxidation of 4 moles of SO2. Next he is asking, state whether the work is done by the system or on the system. Now in this case, since the W has been positive, यहाँ -2 आया था हमारा, so W has become positive now. Since W is positive, means what? The work is done on the system. Work is done on the system. So here is your answer. Okay, have you got it? So hope you have understood all whatever we have done today. It was just we have seen 2 numericals and the relation between delta H and delta U. Okay. So up till now we have seen about 6 formulas, and please jot down all the formulas in your formula list and try to solve more and more numericals on using these formulas. Okay. So we'll meet in the next video and we will move to a very important topic in the next video, and that is enthalpy of physical transformations. Means whenever the physical transformation changes, what is the change in the enthalpy, how the enthalpy changes, that we will be seeing in the next video. Okay. So till then, thank you. Bye bye.